If you have a $2 bill, you're going to want to watch this video until the end because we're going to go over some really important information when it comes to $2 bills. Before we hop into it, did you know the US actually produces $2 bills to this day? That's right. It's really important to know that just because your bill has a date on it does not mean that was actually the date it was produced. For example, a $2 bill that says 2017 on it could have been produced in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, etc. Now you may be asking, why is that? The reason is because the US Bureau of Engraving and Printing uses what we call printing plates. Now these printing plates are not easy to reproduce. So what they do is every 2, 3, 5, 10 years, they will reproduce the plates with a new date on it. That's why you have $2 bills with a 2017 series on it that are produced for years and years and years. So what does this mean for you? This means that you know that there are rare $2 bills out there worth a lot of money. Now I need to be fully transparent with you guys. I go to my local bank and I pick up $2 bills periodically, and I always try to carry them around with me so I can give them out as tips or pay with them at the store. Now, why would I do this? Why? Because it's really interesting to see the people's reactions when they get a $2 bill. They think, oh my gosh, this thing is so rare, it's so valuable. Little do they know it's only worth $2. The $2 bills that we go over in this video are worth a lot more money than $2. Trust me on that. Without wasting any more time, guys, we're gonna hop right into it right now with this 2017 $2 bill that is a star note. So star notes, we'll keep this very brief, happen during the printing process when there's an error on a sheet of bills and a quality control manager catches that mistake. What they do is they destroy the sheet, produce a new sheet of bills with a star at the end of the serial number signifying that it is a replacement note. They do this for bookkeeping purposes and to make sure there's no fraud or any theft going on at the BEP. Paper money is produced at only 2 different locations in the US. You've got the Washington, D.C. facility, which I've had the pleasure of having a ground floor tour at their facility, so I understand exactly how these things work, or the Fort Worth, Texas facility. Now there's a way to tell which one your $2 bill was printed at, and it can be very important, so pay close attention. You're going to want to look at the front plate position. Now a plate position is mainly an internal letter and number combination that tells an employee where the specific bill is located on a printing plate. You're going to see that plate position at the top left and on the bottom right. Now if you haven't noticed already, on the bottom right, there's a small FW before the plate position. That FW stands for Fort Worth, Texas, where this bill was produced. The only other option you have is a bill that's produced at the Washington, D.C. facility. You can tell you have a Washington, D.C. facility printed banknote if there is no FW anywhere on the bill. So why did this bill sell for a lot of money? I want you to look at the star at the bottom left and see how there's a white little opening there. Then look at the star at the top right. You can see that one of the stars, the one at the top right, is a solid star. That's why someone turned this $2 bill into 180 bucks. Let's look at the back of this bill. We have what we call a back plate number, very similar to the front, but the back plate position tells an employee where the specific printing plate for the back was located for this specific bill. Now you've got printing plates for the back of the bills and printing plates for the front of the bills. What you need to know is that on some bills, the back plate position will be smaller than the front plate position number. If the sizes are different, then that can mean you have a mule note. We'll go over that another time, but just periodically look at the size of the back plate number compared to the front plate number because you could have a mule note. Now on this specific bill, it sold for $312, and this is exactly why. Look very closely at the serial numbers. The actual numbers are identical, but the prefix, which is that first letter in the serial number, is wrong. You can see the bottom left serial number starts with an H, the top right starts with a B. That H on the bottom left should actually be a B. Always check this. If you see that big seal that is the color black on the left-hand side, it has a large B inside. That letter should always match the first letter in the serial number. If that letter was an A, the first letter in the serial number would be an A. You have the option of having A all the way to L. That's called the district number. The district B is, in this case, New York. Long story short, the mismatched prefix error here is why it sold for $312. All right, this is what we call a brick of $2 bills. So there's 4,000 notes with a face value of $8,000 because $2 times 4,000 notes is $8,000. This is what banks would get from the BEP. So the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, where they produce paper money, would wrap bricks like this and ship them to banks all over the US. What's cool about this one is that this brick never got opened, and someone was able to buy it online for $21,150. That's a lot of money for a brick of $2 bills. $1,320 for this 1976 $2 bill. Now I want you to look closely at the serial numbers and tell me if you see anything. Go ahead ahead, pause the video, and type in the comment section down below if you see anything or not. If you don't see anything, that's okay. Just type, I don't see the error, hit enter, and then hit play when you're done. So this bill has a mismatched serial number error. So once again, remember, look at the district letter. It is a B. The start of the serial number on the left and the top right are both B's, so that's good. Let's look at the bottom left serial number, 59208-394. Now let's look at the top, 59208-494. So the third to last serial number is wrong. It is a very small detail that you need to look for because someone turned a $2 bill into $1,320. Now just imagine if I was giving these out as a tip and I didn't check my $2 bill and accidentally gave someone this tip worth $1,320. I'm all for tipping well, but that's a bit too much of a tip for my blood. Looking at the back of this $2 bill, you would never have any idea why it's sold for $2,160, but the reason why we started off on the back is because it's important to know that during the printing process, the back of the bill is actually the first print. Not many people know that. So the back of the bill is the first print, the front of the bill is the second print, and then everything that you see on the front of this bill right now that's upside down is called the third print, and which is the overprint. And that's very important to know. But on this specific example, someone probably went to their local bank at the time, got a couple $2 bills, maybe they got a couple $100 worth, and they noticed that the overprint was inverted. They kept it very safe, and they turned their $2 bill into $2,160, $6,600 for this $2 bill from 1976. Now, first thing you'll notice about this bill is that it's completely beat up. This bill got graded by PMG at a very fine 30. That's very low grade for this bill. What's really cool about this $2 bill is the fact that it was out in pocket change, it was out in circulation. Nobody was keeping this $2 bill safe. They wanted to use it as a pocket piece more than likely. This is a serial number 1, and it's a star note. Serial number 1s are pretty much the pinnacle when it comes to a rare serial number on your bill. Do understand this. Whoever owned this bill, if they would have kept it in really pristine condition, they probably would have sold for closer to $10,000 to $15,000. But because it's really worn down at a very fine 30, it sold for $6,600. Believe it or not, the US back in the day produced $2 bills that looked like this. This is a genuine United States $2 bill from 1869. This is pretty close to after the Confederate War. The US wanted to enhance the security features and step up their game a little bit when it comes to anti-counterfeiting measures. So this is what we call a large size rainbow note. Large size because the size is much larger than our $2 bills today, and they call it a rainbow note because you've got the red seal on the right, the blue security fibers on the left, and you've got the green design along the top. Very beautiful note here, highly collectible. You see the ornate designs on the back, very intricate details there. If you have an 1869 $2 bill, I'm very jealous of you because you have a very beautiful, highly collectible note. This one got graded by PCGS at a 68 PPQ, and it sold for a staggering $79,312.50. We'll be brief on this one, but $18,000 for this bill. Just be very careful whenever buying or selling this type of error note. You have the overprint doubled. So this is the most commonly seen altered counterfeit bill I've ever seen online. People see videos like ours and they say, hey, $18,000, that's a lot of money. Let me figure out how to try to replicate this error. What they do is they put it in their printer, they figure it out, okay, there's the error. The only issue is a grading company like PMG and PCGS are going to very easily be able to weed those out, tell you that they're altered just by looking at it under magnification. If you compare a normal serial number to one that is altered, it's going to look a lot different. The printing process is way different. With overprints, they use a letterpress process that cannot be replicated in your basement, so it's very easy to tell if it's an altered bill. But if you're looking at the bill online, it's very hard to tell. That's why grading companies like PMG and PCGS are so critically important for the hobby. Because this overprint was doubled, it sold for $18,000. When you're looking at the back of this bill, it looks like someone just cut off the corner. But when you go to the front, you can see that in between the second and the third print, the bill got folded over, printed on, and that's why this printed fold over $2 bill sold for $4,080. Listen guys, if you haven't already, we have a completely free coin and currency ebook down below that goes over coin and currency handling, grading, and values. Make sure you do not miss on that. It is completely free, and we will see you guys in the next video.